We have officially reached the final day of training camp. The Miami Dolphins held their joint practice with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was a very interested, some points heated exchange between both teams. There was a defensive fight that started out on the field and then went inside the bubble after it split up. Isaiah Smalls was the man responsible for watching the defense. Isaiah, before I give people the review of the offense, how did the Dolphins defense perform and did they win the fight?
I think the number one question, before we even get to the fight, I think the number one question people should know is there was no Travis Hunter, right? That's what people should know. I think that is an important asterisk to put before we talk about anything. There is no Travis Hunter. So, moving on. Right?
For everybody,
I was sad. Look, the minute that they announced who the joint practices were against, and obviously that was after they drafted him, I wanted to see him live. Like, I got to see him a few years back at the Orange Blossom Classic, when he was still at Jackson State. I wanted to see how he improved. That's why I was a little bit disappointed. But moving on.
Jaguar fans didn't have Tyreek Hill or De'Von Achane. You see them crying?
Look, man, I see them almost every day. I'm not saying that I'm tired of seeing them because I can't wait to see them perform on Sundays. I've just, I wanted to see something a little bit different, right? And Travis Hunter would have given me that. It's okay. Hopefully he gets well soon. I'm, hats off to that man because hopefully he has a great NFL career. But overall, and your phone is going off right now.
Yeah, sorry, JD.
You're good. But overall, I believe the defense won the day. And this is why. Two pick sixes probably. One from Minkah Fitzpatrick, one from Jack Jones. Hella sacks. I mean, Zach Sealer got back there. I mean, I believe Jalen Phillips got back there. Like, it just...
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is not a very good pocket presence quarterback.
Yeah, I just didn't see it. Like, obviously, this is a former number one overall pick.
Trevor Lawrence is not... I'm sorry, but I know everybody will say Trevor Lawrence is better than Tua. Trevor Lawrence is not better than Tua. He's way more durable, but he's not better than Tua.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. Just from what I saw, just the presence in the pocket certainly wasn't there. Again, I don't think
he's got like Zach Wilson accuracy issues. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it.
That's wild.
Zach Wilson dribbled another ball to Tanakana in the red zone. Like, damn, this ain't basketball. We ain't making bounce passes.
I think they only scored once in the red zone portion. You mentioned the red zone. That is where Minkah got.
Jacksonville only scored once?
Once in the red zone portion. The first team, Jacksonville, first team only scored once.
Oh, okay.
And that was the touchdown from Brian Thomas caught on Storm Duck.
One time? That's it?
One time. The first team only scored one time. That's what I'm saying.
Then they definitely walked away with the victory.
It was a dominant victory. I remember, like, the way that they started out. I'm not sure if they started out the red zone portion.
Yeah, they started out red zone.
Okay, they did. Yeah, you're right. But I'm saying, like, in this particular sequence, I'm struggling to remember whether it was in red zone or was it in the they did another 11s portion.
I saw Storm Duck get scored on in the red.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there was 3 straight plays that Zach Sealer dominated. I'm talking it went sack, tackle for loss, and then stop at the line of scrimmage. Right? Like, it was insane. I wasn't, and that's what I can't remember. I'm not sure if I was in the red zone. I know Zach was a baller. I'm not questioning whether Zach was a baller. I'm just saying that kind of illustrated the level of dominance that it was. Like, whoever was blocking him couldn't do it. And it's funny because when I was watching one-on-ones, Zach Sealer won like the first couple times, and then it seemed to kind of trail off at the end. And so I was a little bit concerned, but there's no need to fear. Like, that man, as soon as it actually mattered, because I know we talk a lot about, does one-on-one matter? Does one-on-one matter? I think obviously it matters in the trenches a little bit more than it does, on the outside. But that being said, straight dominant effort. Loved what I saw from the guys. Jack Jones, even though, he left that 45-yard bomb at the end to Brian Thomas Jr.
That was hold on. That was a situational period bomb.
Yes.
They were down by 2, had less than 2 minutes to drive down the field. It was a 4th down, I believe.
It was a 4th down, yeah.
4th down, Jack Jones gives up a 45-yard pass.
And that's
I generally give top performers to guys who get interceptions.
Of course.
When you have, and that's why I wrote a column about Jack Jones today, because he's one of the more interesting guys to me on the team, because if it goes well for him, you might have a good season. If it doesn't go well for him, you're going to have a trash season. And you can't get an interception and then give up the game losing. When you get an interception and then give up the game losing reception, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, I got to take the good with the bad. Like, that's why I didn't give him top performer. And I wrote an entire column on him. Okay, it's one thing you get cooked by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Brian Thomas cooked you too.
Wait. Hold on a second.
He was cooking today. He was cooking. I didn't know.
I know, but I understand that.
It wasn't just Jack Jones.
I'm just trying to figure out where you have Brian Thomas ranked among some of the top receivers, because he might not be on that level right now. But I feel like if we have this conversation at the end of the year, it might sound a little bit different.
That was definitely the receiver I saw today was better than Jaylen Waddle in the conversation.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I mean, I think at the end of the day, obviously it depends on preference. What type of receiver do you like? I'm a fan of the bigger body guys that can go up, get the ball at the catch point. I kind of, you got to give him that advantage. I mean, I saw, Brian Thomas not cook, but get one over on Jalen Ramsey last year in game 1, because one of my things that I kept saying throughout the season is, like, it doesn't seem like any receiver other than the rookies can get the better of Jalen Ramsey. And it was Brian Thomas and it was Marvin Harrison Jr. to be exact.
And the receiver got him too. He got.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah, obviously Garrett Wilson's not.
But we're not talking about Jalen Ramsey.
We're not talking about
Jalen.
But we're talking about Brian Thomas Jr. And my point is, I mean, he might be up on that upper echelon.
That's a top 10 receiver. What I saw today was a top 10 receiver.
Okay.
If you haven't had your fantasy draft, you might want to pick him up
for sure.
I don't. That dude can ball. I wasn't watching defense, but I snuck some peeks, and he is a baller. And let me get to the offense.
Yeah, go ahead.
The red zone period. Tua was doing what Tua do, slicing and carving them up. That's my expectation. If you get to a red zone period, you're gonna get carved up.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers did not get. I don't even know if he took a snap in 11-on-11 in a competitive period.
Yikes.
Zach got all the action, which hints that Quinn is going to be playing the rest of the second half. I'm assuming maybe they don't want to showcase him in case they want to do something stupid like try to put him on the practice squad. I'm just throwing this out there. Tua did his thing. Then what happened was they went to other periods. The run game disappeared. And Jaylen Wright actually had a decent day from my standpoint, which there are few and far between. I don't want to hate on Jaylen Wright, but if there was one player that I have to tell you was a disappointment in training camp, it would be Jaylen Wright.
Oh yeah.
Do you agree or disagree?
No. Yeah, you're spot on. You're spot on. Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Then the unfortunate thing happened, which is Jaylen Wright suffered an injury. The way he was walking, cannot speculate on injury. It's against the rules. Pow if I do. The way he was walking, it looked serious. Now, does it look season ending? I don't know. Does it look like a couple of weeks? Absolutely. No question about it. Not only he got hurt, but AJ Henning got hurt, looked like a hamstring. Hate to speculate, but
he was walking off on crutches.
And yeah, when you're tugging on your hamstring, that kind of indicates it. Here is my problem. And this is a Dolphins problem. My problems are usually Dolphins problems. Your running back room was already thin when everybody was healthy. Now you've got De'Von Achane, who I watched today limp around because he's got that calf injury. You can tell it's an issue.
Mhm.
You've got Jaylen Wright, whatever he suffered today. This is a joint practice, just like in the exhibition season. People are going to get hurt. This is football. I tell y'all every single time, if a game is played, you're going to lose somebody, at least one. It's just the reality of this sport. All that's left right now is Ollie Gordon, except for two guys that got signed last week. Can Ollie Gordon play the entire game against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
No. I mean, he shouldn't.
Can you go into the season with just Ollie Gordon?
No.
Healthy?
No, you definitely need to make some trades. Search call some veterans, see who didn't accept the training camp. You got to do something, because the way it stands right now, you got Aaron Shamplin, who went to Harvard and was apparently a substitute teacher last year, which we learned. And then you have Mike Boone, who I don't even know what he was doing last year. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't even remember.
I didn't even know he was an 8-year veteran.
He's been in the league a minute. Definitely been in the league a minute. But again, this is the issue though, because now with the injuries, obviously Madison's out for the year. Achane with the calf, it's tricky because God forbid, it gets worse, and now you got an Achilles injury. Now you're out for a year, right? Ollie obviously was, later round, third day guy, but at the same time, he displayed obviously some high level talent, specifically in that 2023 year when he was the Doak Walker Award winner. But you need somebody else. And I'm going to throw out a name to you, and we had the conversation just a little bit, and there is apparently I don't want to say unhappy, but there is a running back in Washington D.C. who, they didn't play him the second preseason game. They appear to be, willing to trade this guy out. Guy's named Brian Robinson Jr. Obviously there's been a lot of injuries on this side of the Dolphins.
Let me ask you a question.
What do you think?
Let me simplify this for you.
Go ahead.
Are you paying $3.4 million to Brian Robinson on a 1-year deal?
The cap, I believe it was like $16 million. I don't know if I want to use a fourth of my cap on a running back.
And giving up a draft pick, by the way. That's a hell no to me.
Okay.
So I can honestly, Jeff Wilson is with San Francisco, I believe.
Yeah.
He probably won't make that team. Jeff, come on back home. Come on back home, bro. Come on back home. I know we kind of gave you the cold shoulder this offseason.
I was going to say, I think he wants to come back.
A job is a job. You do realize that, right? Employment is employment.
That's fair.
You think now, here's the tricky part. You can't sign him for the first week of the season unless you sign him to the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sign him to the second week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So veterans, practice squad, claim guys with less than 4 years of experience, you claim. So Dolphins are clearly going to be active on the waiver wire and claim for running back. Clearly.
They have to. They don't have a choice.
I don't think they have an option. And it's disappointing that you find yourself in this situation, but there are going to be a ton of running backs available on August 26th.
That's true.
You just got to make it through one game. I think they'll be fine. Mike Boone, he's got 8 years of experience. They ran pretty good.
Shamplin, low-key, looked a little bit better. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, that outside of Ollie's 19-yard run, it was Shamplin who had the big run on Saturday. So I mean, they gotta use these, Saturday as an audition, man. And he talked about it. Shamplin talked about it yesterday. It's at some point you got to realize, look, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, right? And so you might be auditioning for 31 other teams on Saturday, but shoot, stranger things have happened. Obviously, Jaylen Wright goes down. He might be auditioning for this team on Saturday.
Yeah. We talked to Ollie Gordon today, and the biggest concern that I have is how is the rookie mastering the playbook? Because year after year, I hear everybody say, "Oh, I know the playbook," and then the next year they're like, "I ain't know nothing. I was just making it up, lying, pretending like I knew it." Yeah. Here's Ollie Gordon talking about where he is with this Dolphins offense.
Tend to focus on that more. I feel like that's one of my spots I need to focus on to get better. So I would say that.
What area have you grown the most since you first got here?
I would just say getting to know what I'm doing. I feel like my coach is doing a great job with helping me understand the offense and get behind that.
Brewer just said he loves your physicality. A veteran center like that talks about a rookie like that. What comes to your mind?
I just say everything's huge. Like I said, I just want my vets to be able to trust me. And that's the main part about it, honestly. I'm gonna keep running hard and downhill just for them, just how hard they blocking for me. So,
did you like the lowering the shoulder there on that one? Got a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, that was fun. That was the fun part about it. That was a good time.
Do you feel?
I would just say being able to, work with my teammates and just learn them all. Sometimes different schemes, different things we got to do, but it's just about being able to learn my teammates and know them well to be able to work off of them and be great with that.
Obviously, you don't want to see all these injuries and stuff, but what does your mentality going into there get those new reps this year?
At the end of the day, I'm just doing whatever's best for the team, and as special teams, anything, I'm here for it. So whatever the team need me to do, I'm here for, and that's how it'll be forever.
If they have to call on you for extended action because of the injuries to the other backs, how prepared do you feel?
I feel great. Like I said, watching the ones before me, my vets do a great job. They still help me. My coach does a great job. Extra meetings with him, extra meetings with my vets, just talking to them even after meetings, outside of meetings, stuff like that. I feel like it's definitely prepared me for this.
How much do you feel like the back who was dominating a couple of years ago as opposed to maybe last year?
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm sorry, my bad.
How much more do you feel like the back who was dominant a couple of years ago? Does that feel like yourself again?
Definitely. I would definitely say it does. I do feel like myself again.
What did you learn from the first two exhibition games?
The league is very physical. That's definitely what I learned. It's either you get your pass low or they will lower theirs. And I'd rather not get flipped. So, I'd rather lower my pass first.
Yeah. I will say this about Ollie. I have not been impressed in practices, but when it comes to the game, I've been impressed. And there are some players who are just gamers. I will tell you, one of the best players that I covered during my Dolphins tenure has been Cameron Wake. Cameron Wake, I would argue to you, is a borderline Hall of Fame player if you put together his CFL career with his NFL career, because he was two-time CFL Player of the Year. It still counts. This ain't the NFL Hall of Fame.
I forgot it is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yeah, you're right.
It still counts.
That's real.
See,
Okay.
if Warren Moon could get in with his CFL numbers, Cam Wake. Anyway, that's
real.
My personal
Okay.
The point I'm making is Cam Wake was a horrible practice performer. I covered him his whole career. Never made plays at practice. And it wasn't like Ryan Tannehill wasn't getting sacked every day. Ryan Tannehill was consistently sacked. Ryan Tannehill would take like 10 sacks a practice. I'm not even exaggerating. You could ask anybody. That man would be sack. Every third play was a sack. Let me get off my Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was. You would go into the season thinking the defense is just going to be beasts, and then they were just average. Mm-hmm. It was because he just had no pocket awareness, no pocket presence. But anyway, but my point I'm making is Cameron Wake never stood out in practice, ever. But he was the most dominant defensive player of that generation. Now, so there are some players who are just gamers. Ollie, and I'm going to make this comparison, and Dolphin fans are going to get all excited about it. But it's just a small little comparison. He reminds me a lot of Jay Ajayi.
I knew that was what you were going to say. I was like, who are you about to say right now? Okay, all right, go ahead. He
reminds me a lot of Jay Ajayi, high pad level, plays with power. The difference is I think Jay Ajayi had better vision than Ollie Gordon. But Ollie's better catching the ball. And in fact, that's probably the only area of his game that has really surprised me. He's very adept at catching the ball and taking it upfield.
I would say, would you think that Ollie's that final gear a little bit faster than Jay?
Jay Ajayi produced some big runs.
I know he did. He definitely did.
Now that was behind what I call the unicorn offensive line, which was probably one of the 3 times this organization has had a decent offensive line, and this year will not count as one of them. Not in recent years.
Yeah, of course.
I am a little bit worried about the backfield. I'm putting De'Von Achane on ice till Wednesday of the first week of practice. We not even running. We just letting that calf cool down. Now after Saturday's game, they've got a long break, so it's you're not that pressed, and you'll get new players in, new players out, people signed to the practice squad. But clearly, you need some running backs, and let's hope for the best for Jaylen Wright.
Yeah, definitely.
I would hate for that. While I have not liked what I've seen, I do respect the work that he's put in, and my hope is that at some point it'll click for him, but it's not going to click if he's out for the season or out for an extended period. So hopefully he gets healthy. But the point I was making, the red zone was good. The run game sucked. One-on-one offensive line got killed, except for Aaron Brewer, who created quite a bit of stir. Chicago Bears are a little bit upset right now.
Oh, yeah.
He talked about, we do not have the video for you because it's not great quality sound, but he basically was like, they fake tough guys because basically – they were tackling when we supposed to be playing 7-on-7s, and that was like Bush League. And we have said that. I watched practice.
Yeah, you did.
It was, and Bears fans are just like, oh, y'all crybabies, y'all, the P word. Like, bro, we practicing playing 7-on-7. Y'all slamming people into the ground.
Yeah, that's a little bit much, man.
Chill out.
It's the preseason, y'all.
Yeah,
calm down.
Even though I did see one, I thought there was going to be. We had the defensive little ruckus thing going on.
Little scuffles, yeah.
Little scuffles. It wasn't little. It was kind of big. It was kind of big scuffle. It broke off into 2 little patches.
It did.
Offensively, and Miami's Smurf wide receivers, that's what they are. It is what the league calls small receivers. I'm not making that term up.
I know you're not. I know. I get it.
Smallish wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They was trying to exert their will and their physicality by putting their head down and trying to run over some of these cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I was like, yo, you need to calm that down because y'all ain't these defenders, their job is to hit you. Your job is not to hit them. So the minute you start to hit them, they're gonna be like, oh, real word? Let me actually start doing what I normally do, which is tackle you and cut you. And there was one point, I forget, I don't remember who the receiver was, where a cornerback was like, all right, I done had enough of this. Bam! Slammed one of the wide receivers on his back.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna start a little ruckus, but it didn't. Obviously, the Dolphins calmed down a little bit because that was like the Dolphins being the aggressor. But when you got a reputation,
that's true. That's true.
And I get it. I think it might have been D. Eskridge because D's got that dog in him. No, if it's a fight, D is probably the one involved. And so he was doing a little extra. D would be a little extra. And he was the one that got it started with putting his head down and trying to run over the cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but luckily things did not get good. Now, unfortunately, we talked about the final situational period, which everybody starts off at the 35, and they need to drive the team in the field goal position. Tua did a Tua converted a fourth down.
Yes, to Eskridge, about 20 yards.
Tua converted a fourth down, kept the drive alive, but they weren't in. I think they weren't. Maybe they weren't. It was a long field goal.
Yeah.
But the practice ended where Tua threw the ball out of bounds because none of his receivers were open. And Tua talked after the game, and again took his usual truth serum, and basically said, "Yeah, I ain't got chemistry with none of these dudes that I'm working with right now." And we got to get better. They need to know where I'm going to put the ball. I need to know where they're going to be. I'm paraphrasing, but I have seen him develop chemistry with Malik Washington. That's off the chain. That's off the chain. He's getting into a little bit of a groove with Eskridge, but everybody else. Oh, Jaylen Waddle, clearly.
Yeah, obviously Jaylen Waddle.
Jaylen Waddle.
Yeah. We've seen them kind of raised to a new level. Something that I talked about in my story today. That chemistry with them. Obviously, they've known each other for almost 8 years. But their level kind of raised. And then obviously you mentioned Malik. Definitely his level is raised. Tua talked about being still a little bit surprised at the maturity of Malik Washington because it seems like he always knows where to be. And then to your point, Eskridge was a guy that he had mentioned as well as somebody that is truly grown within the offense. But, kind of kept it at that. Didn't say any other names. Some notable omissions there. Notable omissions.
No. Him and NWI's chemistry is horrible. Like, it's
not good.
It's not good. Like, if you expecting, do not draft him in your fantasy draft. I'm not a fantasy guy, but no.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd stay away from that
one. So we also got to watch some of the pass rushers defensively. As you mentioned, there was a lot of pressure. One of the pass rushers who is kind of on the hot seat, is Cameron Good, because there are other hotter pass rushers. But if you cut Cameron Good, you'll probably be cutting your best special teams player. And that is a tough decision that you got to make. Here's Cameron Good talking about the fact he's been on the bubble he lives life on the bubble for 4 years.
A big part of my game is setting the edge because I play that Sam role. So a lot of times I'm setting the edge, dropping into coverage, but also if they need me to rush on third down, I'm ready to go for that too.
What's this experience like for you? I don't know if Perk already covered it, where you've been on the bubble before and having to earn that roster spot. You've been here for
It's nothing new. Every year is like this. Just gotta keep focused, keep my head down, and just work and show I can do stuff on defense, and also special teams plays a big part of me being here. So every time I'm out there trying to be physical and make plays on special teams, and then when my number's called, I go out there on defense and be dependable.
When did you learn the value of special teams for a player like yourself?
The first 2 years, probably. The first year I was on practice squad all year, and that second year I was rolling on special teams all the regular season games, so I tore my knee. So I know that plays a big part in me being here. I think I can make a impact on that. So every time I'm out there on special teams, I know how important that is.
How did you guys take the Matthew Judon addition? Because you've got a lot of talented young edge rushers.
Yeah.
Was it why are they doing this, or this was going to make us even stronger?
Make us even stronger. We know how deep our room is, how many good guys we got in the room. We're always pushing each other to be better, and that's just another piece to the puzzle to push us, another guy to learn from, and make plays in the big dog room.
What is the key to being a good special teams player?
I think being physical, and I think a lot of things is technique, and then also hustling to the ball, getting to the ball and making that tackle, making plays.
Yeah. Cameron Good is one of those hustlers. It'll be a very interesting cut day, whether it's Sunday or Monday, in regard to some of these decisions. And right now I'm going to put Isaiah Smalls on the hot seat as the general manager of the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to mention some names for you, Isaiah. And
you just call me Cam?
Yeah, Cameron Good. I'm going to mention some names for you, and you're going to tell me whether they are on or off the Dolphins 50. Your Dolphins 53-man roster.
Say less. Let's get it.
Okay. Taj Washington.
On.
How many receivers you keeping?
I don't know if you saw some of those hits he was taking in Detroit. He pops right back up. I love what I'm seeing from a physicality
You didn't answer the
standpoint.
question. How many receivers are you keeping? Because if you're keeping Taj Washington,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
you can't keep 7 receivers. You can't keep 7 receivers. That's roster mismanagement.
Well, okay, then 6. Then 6, and then Theo Weiss will be on my practice squad.
Oh, you was trying to keep Theo Weiss too?
I am keeping Theo Weiss. Come on now.
All right. It's not gonna happen. Tanner Connor, on or off your 53?
He's on it.
Okay.
He needs to improve as a blocker, though. It's you're on it with the asterisk as you have 5 games to show me that you're a better blocker, and if not,
Daniel Brunskill.
no, he can go kick rocks, respectively. Respectfully.
Hey, you might need him because Andrew Meyer has the elbow issue, might not be ready for the regular season. I'm actually probably putting Andrew Meyer on my IR on day 2.
Okay.
That gives
That's
me
not bad.
that gives me an extra roster spot. Matt Dickerson.
Keep him.
I don't know if you're gonna have the roster spots, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many defensive tackles can I guess 6 is a lot.
It depends on how many linebackers you got. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we get to the fun stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Inside linebacker, Channing Tindall.
I'm keeping him.
Channing Tindall?
Yeah. He's
How you gonna make a roster spot for Channing Tindall? You've clearly never made a 53.
I've never done this before.
You keep everybody.
I'm keeping everybody. But I've seen actually tangible improvement from Channing Tindall. Like this was when he's talking about every year being a Channing Tindall year. This was one of the first years that I can actually say, like, okay, like you don't look lost out there. Like you're playing with instinct. You are, you're making plays in the backfield. You're making just tackles overall. Whether it's in the back, not in the backfield, or rushers coming at you. Just from reviewing that film, I liked what I saw from him. A lot of it, to be honest.
Okay. Now we get to the fun stuff. Grayson Murphy.
Yes.
How you keeping him? Okay, so that means you're cutting Derek McClendon.
No, I'm cutting Cam Good and unfortunately Mo Kamara.
Okay. I don't know if you have the roster spot for all of those individuals with Chubb, Chop, Phillips, Judon, your top 4. Then you probably have room for 2 more, which is especially since you have 4 inside linebackers. So that means 8. So you have a room for 10 in that room. So that means Quentin Bell, Cameron Good, Mo Kamara, Derek McClendon are all battling for the and Grayson Murphy
for 2 spots,
and Channing Tindall are battling for 2 spots.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I guess you never have enough edge rushers. I'm going Grayson Murphy and McClendon, and then I'm cutting Channing Tindall and just praying that nobody fully evaluated that tape and we can bring him back on the practice squad.
Okay, and then and you just whacking Good and Kamara.
Yeah, practice squad for
you gonna have what, 6 linebackers on the practice squad?
Good. Well, I just said 2 names. All I said was Good and Tindall.
And Quentin Bell makes you 53.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I knew you was gonna keep Quentin Bell. That was a layup for you.
HBC guys got to stick together, man.
Let's go with your safeties.
Okay.
Patrick McMorris, Jordan Colbert, John Sanders Jr. If you're gonna keep one, because clearly the top four are the top four.
Yeah.
Oh, Dante Trader. I think makes it too.
I think he makes it too. So wait, am I
maybe I think we haven't seen him this week, so that might be a IR sneaky link.
A sneak IR. Okay. So I'm choosing between Saunders, Colbert, McMorris, and Saunders, Colbert, McMorris. Okay. I will go. What's crazy is Saunders has made the most plays. I think they all individually have had one pick coming into today, and Saunders had a pick today. So that gives him 2.
Damn, I didn't even know Saunders had a pick.
He did have a pick today. No one saw.
So we had 3 picks.
Yeah, no one saw this pick today but me. I don't know what people were looking at, but no one saw it but me. It must have been a sack on the front end because I personally didn't see the sack. And I know we've been debating back and forth about the sack, but I will leave. Let's go McMorris. Oh, wait, hold on. McMorris, go. McMorris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about the cornerback unit, and I don't even want to get into that hypotheticals because we don't know where Ethan Bonner is. We don't know where Kendall Sheffield. Yeah. I think Jack Jones makes it safely, especially since Anthony Weaver, and I missed this earlier this week. Anthony Weaver basically said we're gonna enjoy the contributions of Jack Jones this season. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he said this season.
Yeah, okay. I was like, damn, he already on the 53. Cam Smith making it?
Oof, man. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
No, everybody cannot make your 53, Isaiah.
Everybody can't go. We're the Benny the Butcher, man.
So who is Saturday's game? Name the one player where Saturday's game, because even Mike McDaniel said today, I'm going to decide people's jobs based on what I see today and Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Saturday the most important player for?
Ooh, that's a good question. It has to be someone in the edge rusher group, honestly, because I think those are the guys that, quote unquote, the deepest unit on the roster. They have, the third most people on the, but this roster is August the 4th, so they might have even more than that. The linebackers have a lot of people in that group, so I'm gonna go Cam Good because he's off of my roster right now, and so I want to see him. I mean, special team stuff is very important, right? I'm not gonna poo-poo that,
seems
but
like you are overlooking special teams.
It's not. I'm not. It's because it's a handful of plays a game. Like if you think about if you break it up, special teams, defense, offense, handful of plays a game.
But you'll lose this game on special teams.
You'll definitely lose yourself a game on special teams. You can win yourself a game on special teams, but that's every single play in football. Every single play matters. Like you can win or lose on every single play, right? So I hear you, but like if I'm gonna keep and I totally understand the thinking like, okay, he's a core special teams guy. Let's keep him on there because think about a play like Saran Neal, who's obviously made a lot of money being a gunner. But no, I need to see more at the position that you're listed in because it doesn't say special teams guy right here for you. There's only 4 specialists or 3 because there's no more Stonehouse.
But I personally think and I believe that special teams coaches like Craig Ackerman, they decide 5 spots on the roster. They got to have 2 gunners.
I agree.
And they got to have they got to have 5. They got to have total 5 core special teams guys. So to me,
wait, 2 gunners. What? 2 gunners.
2 gunners, and then the guys who run downfield. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. And 3 what?
And 3 guys that run downfield and make tackles.
Okay.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. I've learned the bottom of the 53 is often decided by special teams. That's one question I actually want to ask Mike, which is how much say does Craig Ackerman have right about now? this week. And I always ask him. He says, I get real popular right about this time of season.
They do.
Yeah, everybody's like, yo, how can I get on? How can I get on your unit? And surprisingly, they've got a lot of veterans on the special teams, but we will see who wants to make this roster. On Sunday at 4 p.m., the Dolphins play the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will not be doing an advance for you. This is your advance. So
Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
Saturday, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, yes. So we will be back Sunday to wrap it up.
Maybe around Sunday, 4 p.m.
I don't know if we're gonna wait that long. We got to wrap up the game, and I don't know unless they start cutting people in the morning, which is quite possible. Yeah. On that note, this has been Dolphins in Depth, a podcast provided to you by the Miami Herald, and we will see you on Sunday.